Hello friend, welcome to all of you. This is the chapter number 2, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, Banking and Finance Paper 3. This is the last lecture of the chapter number 2, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. The 2.6 we're looking here, the noting and protesting of negotiable instrument. Last time we discussed about the dishonor of the negotiable instrument. This time we are also looking the first the dishonor and then the necessary the dishonor of the instrument noting and protesting. So what is the dishonor of the negotiable instrument? A promissory note, bill of exchange and check, these are the common use of the negotiable instrument. Get dishonor when the person is a maker of the note or the acceptor of the bill or drawee of the check make a default by not paying of the liability which lies upon the such person. Such a person has a liability or duty discharge himself of the liability by making the payment as stipulated by the instrument. When they fail to do so, the instrument is called the dishonor. So whenever we present our check in bank, the acceptor or the drawee is the default or not paying to us our payment. In case of the when the maker or the drawer is given certain instruction or insufficient of balance in account and whatever reason, it's called the dishonor of the negotiable instrument. So negotiable instrument, bill of exchange, promissory note and check is the dishonor in certain cases. The meaning of this dishonor of negotiable instrument as per the act. So what is mean by the dishonor of negotiable instrument? Means loss of honor of the respect of the instrument in the question on the part of the maker, drawee or acceptor as the case may, which eventually result in non-realization of payment due on the instrument. So non-realization of the payment on the due the instrument or non-payment of the instrument, it is the dishonor of negotiable instrument. As per the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, when the instrument is the present for the payment and the maker, acceptor, drawee fail in the making the payment, it said that the instrument has dishonor. So fail in the payment in it is they said that the dishonor. So dishonor in the two ways, the non-acceptance of the negotiable instrument and the non-payment. So there is a two way of negotiable instrument, the dishonor. So dishonor of the negotiable instrument is necessary to some remedies, given notice to dishonor, and the second thing is the noting and protesting of the dishonor of the negotiable instrument. So in the case of the check, there is not required the noting and the protesting, but the bill of exchange they need the noting under section 99 and protest under section 100. So what is by the noting under section 99 we looking the here. When bill of exchange or promissory note has been dishonored, the holder can be after giving the parties due notice of dishonor sue the parties liable thereon or claim the parties liable on section 99. So for the claiming, the provide mode of authentication the fact of the bill having the dishonor. So when we need the authentication of the bill is the dishonor, and for claiming or our payment we need the noting this bill. So such a mode of this noting the instrument, noting is the minute of the record by a notary public on the dishonor of instrument or on the paper attached the such instrument is the noting. So dishonor of check not accept the by the bank or drawee for the payment of check, and that time we need that the noting, but in case of there is no need the noting of check. But in the bill of exchange, whenever the party or the pay is the damage from the dishonor of the negotiable instrument, that time he need to certain instrument noting under section 99. So such mode by the available the noting the instrument, the noting is the minute record by the notary public on the dishonor of instrument or on paper attached with the such instrument. So noting notary public is called the noting. When bill is to be noted, the bill is taken to be notary public who represented it for the acceptance or the payment as the case may be, and if drawee or acceptor still refuse the accept or the pay the bill is noted as stated above the noting. So drawee or acceptor is not accepted for the payment and refuse the payment, that time we necessary the notary public of this negotiable instrument, it's called the noting under section 99. So we looking the section 99 of the noting. When bill of exchange or promissory note has been the dishonor by the non-payment of non-acceptance, the holder may cause dishonor to be noted by the notary public upon this instrument. In the case of the check, there is no required the noting, but in the promissory note and bill of exchange, the dishonor of through of the non-payment and non-acceptance, we need to the noted by the notary public of the instrument. It's called the noting under section 99. Such noting can be done a paper attached to the instrument or party on the instrument and party on the paper attached there too is also under the noting. Noting is not compulsory in the case of inland bill or note. Noting is dishonor by the non-acceptance or the non-payment must be made within the reasonable time. So note must be specify of the certain following things. What are the things is required on the noting? So certain things is the required for the noting. Note must be specify the following things. Under the noting, the date of dishonor, whenever the dishonor of the bill, whenever the dishonor of bill of exchange. The next thing, the reason, if any, they assign for the dishonor. Why they not acceptance of the negotiable instrument? Why they refuse the payment of the negotiable instrument? The next is the instrument has not been the expressly dishonor. The reason why the holder treat it the dishonor. Why the holder is treated as a dishonor of the bill. The reason it should be given into this noting. Noting charges and the notary initials is required into the noting under section 99. Next, the procedure of noting. What is the procedure of the noting? The notary public. Dishonor of the negotiable instrument, promissory note and bill of exchange. The holder take the instrument to the notary public for the noting of dishonor. The next, the notary public present the instrument to the party liable, pay, or if dishonored again, the notary note that fact the instrument of paper attached to it. Whenever we present again to the parties, liable parties to the payment, it is again the dishonor, and this proof of attached with this notary. The notary record the fact of the dishonor, date of dishonor along with the reason of dishonor, if any, is also recorded with the charges. The mere noting without giving above the particular are not evidence of the dishonor. So noting without giving the evidence and particulars is not the liable. So noting should be made within the reasonable time and the particulars is necessary on the noting. Noting sought an authentic evidence of the dishonor. This is a step to the protest. So for the creating evidence, we need to note down noting our negotiable instrument dishonor. So in the case of dishonor, we need to the noting of certain negotiable instrument like promissory note and bill of exchange. The next step is the protesting. Protesting under section 100. The dishonor certification get by the parties, it's called the protesting. When bill of exchange or promissory note is dishonored through of the non-payment of the customers or non-acceptance through of the drawee and the acceptors, that such cases dishonor of note and the certification of notary public called the protesting. So whenever we note down the certification under notary public, it's called the noting, and when we take the certification of dishonor of negotiable instrument, it's called the protesting. So certification of dishonor means protesting under section 100. Protests follow the noting. When the notary public note that fact of dishonor, date and the reason, record them is the issue of certification has the better security. This certification is considered as an authentic evidence of the dishonor of the instrument. So it's create the authentic evidence for the certification for the protesting and proof of protest, and it is also evidence and proof of the protest. In the court presume that fact of dishonor. In the case of inland bill, protest is not compulsory. So in the case of inland bill, it is not necessary, but the protest means to get certification of the notary public of the dishonor of negotiable instrument. So certain content is necessary into these dishonor of protest. So content of protest mentioned in section 101 of Negotiable Instrument Act. The instrument itself a literal transport of the instrument and everything written and printed thereupon. So everything is the written and printed on the negotiation. The name of the person for whom and against whom the instrument has been the protest. The whom is the against and whom is the protest. There is the mention in the protest. The fact and the reason of dishonor. What are the fact? A statement that the payment of acceptance or the better security, and the statement is also required. The time and place of demand and dishonor, whenever, when and what time the dishonor of the negotiable instrument. The signature of the notary public is necessary because the notary public is necessary in noting, and that time we take the certification. It's called the protesting. In case of the acceptance for the honor of the payment of the honor, the present whom, for whom the such acceptance of payment and was offered and affected. This content is necessary into the protest. So what we looking in this lecture? Summary of this lecture, we looking the noting under section 99. When the bill of exchange and promissory note has been dishonored by non-payment, acceptance or non-payment, the holder may cause dishonor to be noted by the notary public upon the instrument. The protesting, the section 100, when bill of exchange or promissory note is dishonored by the non-payment, acceptance or the non-payment, the holder may be cause such dishonor to be noted and certification by notary, the public such call the protest. So whenever the dishonor of the bill of exchange and promissory note, that time we necessary to noted by the notary public, it's called the noting under section 99. And this notary public noting, we get the certification, it's called the protesting, and which is the create proof or evidence for the claiming for the parties. References for this point, you can use the Banking Law and Practices Nirali publication and Banking Law and Practices Success publication book for your further studies. Next is the what question will be asked on this point. The write a short note on the noting and protest. It is important short notes. Every time the question will be asked, the write a short note on the noting and protest under section 99 and the 100. These short note type of question will be asked in examination. Next point is the questions and on the topic number 2, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Because here the end of the topic number 2, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So answer in 20 words as per term and pattern. What is the noting under section 99? Whenever we take a notary public when dishonor of negotiable instrument. What is mean by protest? When we take the dishonor of negotiable instrument certification under notary public, we call the protest. What is the presentment? The presentment means the present the negotiable instrument for the payment to acceptor or the drawee. It's called the presentment. Define the check. The under section 6 of Negotiable Instrument Act. The define negotiation. The instrument is the transfer from the right and the title from one person to another person. It is the negotiation. Define the negotiable instrument under the section the 13 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Define bill of exchange under section the 5 and define the promissory note under section 4. What is the dishonor of negotiable instrument? When the drawee and the acceptor refuse the payment of the negotiable instrument, is called the dishonor. So this question will be asked for the 20 words. Just answer in 2-3 lines. It's called the answer in 20 words. Noting, protest, presentment, check, negotiation, bill of exchange, promissory note and dishonor. Answering 50 words, this question like the short notes type of question, types of check, the bearer check, cross check, travel check, the multilateral check, stale check, kind of bill, the escrow bill, demand bill, inland bill. These types is mentioned in the bill of exchange. Containing promissory note, the date is mentioned, place is mentioned, and what DC in the contain is necessary stamp. The types of negotiation, the non-acceptance, non-payment, types of presentment, the types of dishonor of negotiable instrument. There is the non-acceptance and the non-payment. So types of dishonor. This question ask for the 50 words or the short notes. Next is the answer in the 150 words. The important question, the question number 3 and 4, explain the meaning and feature of promissory note, which is we explain in our lecture number 2 of this topic, or the lecture number 12 of the banking and finance. Explain the meaning and features of bill of exchange. Explain the difference between bill of exchange and promissory note. Explain the difference between promissory note and bill of exchange, or explain the distinction between promissory note and the check. This question will be asked for 150 words or 10 marks. The next is the question number 4 for 300 or 500 words. It is the important, the long answer type question. What is a negotiable instrument? Explain the feature and presumption of negotiable instruments. So under section 13, given the definition and the feature and presumption. Explain the various types of negotiable instrument with their features. So that time you necessary given the definition of negotiable instrument, the definition given of promissory note, bill of exchange and check, and the format to withdraw the promissory note, bill of exchange and check, and write down their features one by one. It is the important in answering 300 words question. This question will be asked for the 20 marks. So thank you for watching this video. Here the end of our topic number 2, Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. In the next lecture, we will be meet with the next point, the topic number 3, paying banker and related point. Thank you.